Welcome back. Today we will show you how to build a simple dashboard for the coronavirus positive cases. This dashboard has total cases worldwide, daily chart growth, the country list with cases, and input form to update the data. For the data store, we will use Firebase, which is accessible using the JavaScript Firebase library or module. To build two native mobile apps, Android and iOS, this time we will use a Capacitor, which is the default build tool for Ionic apps. To display the chart, we will use React Charts to React Chart.js 2 module. This tutorial divided into several steps. Step number 1. Set up Firebase. Step number 2. Create a new Ionic 5 React app. Step number 3. Install Firebase, React Chart.js 2 and Chart.js module or library. Step number 4. Implementing coronavirus cases dashboard. Step number 5. Implementing country list with cases. Step number 6. Implementing country chart. Step number 7. Add coronavirus cases input form. Step number 8. Run and test the Ionic 5 React Firebase app. The following tools, frameworks, and modules are required for this tutorial: Node.js, Ionic 5, Ionic CLI, Capacitor, Firebase, React Chart.js 2 and Chart.js, Android Studio, XCode, Terminal or Node command line, IDE or text editor. We are using VS Code. Let's get started. Step number 1. Set up Firebase. We will set up or create a new Google Firebase project that can use the real-time database. Just open your browser, then go to Google Firebase console, and you will take to this page. From this page, click the Create Projects button to create a Google Firebase project, then it will be redirected to this page. After filling the project's name, text field, which our project's name is coronavirus, then click Continue button and it will be redirected to this page. This time, choose to not add Firebase Analytics for now, then click Create Projects button. Now you have a Google Firebase project ready to use. After click Continue button, it will be redirected to this page. While the develop menu expanded, in the left menu, choose the Database menu, then click Create Database button. Then it will open this dialog. Select Start in Test Mode, then click Next and it will go to the next dialog. Select the Firebase database server location, better near your Angular server location. Then click the Done button. Don't forget to select or change Cloud Firestore to Real-Time Database in the flow Database dashboard. Next, go to the Rules tab and you will see these rules. Change it to readable and writable from everywhere for this tutorial only. Click the Publish button to update or save the changes. Now the Google Firebase database is ready to use with your Ionic 5 React mobile apps. Step number 2. Create a new Ionic 5 React app. We will use Ionic CLI to create or generate the Ionic 5 app. For that, we need to install or update the Ionic CLI to the latest version. Before that, make sure you have to install Node.js and npm. To check the installed Node.js and npm, type these commands from the terminal or Node's command line. That's the versions that we are currently using right now. To install or update Ionic CLI, type this command. Sudo is optional in your Node.js or npm requires administrator permission. Now we have these versions of Ionic CLI 6. Next, create a new Ionic 5 app by type this command. With this equation, to choose the framework, just use or select React. You can skip this step if you don't have plan to create a free Ionic account. The capacitor is integrated automatically when creating Ionic 5 and React app. Next, go to the newly created Ionic 5 app, then run this new Ionic 5 app for the first time. If there's questions to install Ionic Lab, just type Y to install it. If your browser opens this Ionic 5 app automatically and shows a blank Ionic app, then your Ionic 5 app is ready to develop. Step number 3. Install Firebase, React, Chart.js 2, and Chart.js module or library. Start your IDE or text editor, then open this new Ionic 5 project. To use VS Code, just type this command inside the new Ionic 5 app folder. We use the Firebase module to access the Firebase real-time database. The Firebase module is available as an npm module. For that, type this command to install the module. Next, create a new file. It's rc Firebase tsx. Then add all codes with this. You can find the API key in the Firebase console under the gear icon or settings, project settings, and there is the web API key. For database URL, go to the service account tab under settings and you will see database URL in admin SDK configuration snippet for Node.js. The React Chart.js 2 is the React wrapper for Chart.js, so any configuration is basically based on Chart.js configuration. To install both of them, type this command. Now the React Chart.js 2 is ready to use inside the React component. Step number 4. Implementing coronavirus cases dashboard. As we mentioned before, the coronavirus dashboard will contain a total of cases and a graph chart. We will use the default home TSX for this implementation. Open and edit is RC, pages, home TSX, then add or modify these imports. Add a constant variable of the required date, chart, total data, and Firebase collections initialization inside the main function. Load all required data from the Firebase collections to the React.js array to the distributes as the data for the total cases, death, recovered, and charts. This algorithm is too ugly because there's no aggregate method in Firebase. You can simplify it by your own codes if planning to use an advanced query for Firebase database. As you see, there is a function call that converting Firebase documents to the array. For that, add a function to convert it to the array. Next, call that loadData functions inside useEffect function. Finally, modify the render or return to show the total of coronavirus cases, deaths, and recovered and bar charts. Additionally, you can test this coronavirus dashboard page by import the dummy data for the Firebase real-time database. Create a JSON file, then fill it with this JSON data. Inside the Firebase console and real-time database, import these JSONs to the coronavirus collection. Step number 5. Implementing country lists with cases. We will use another Ionic React page to display the list of cases by countries. First, add a new Ionic React page inside this page folder. Add that page to the Ion React router by open and edit src app tsx. Then add this line after home routes. Also add the imports of that component. Next, open and edit src pages list tsx. Then add these imports. Add the main functions and export it. Next, declare these constant variables inside the main function. Add the functions to load data from the Firebase collection. Add the functions to extract data from Firebase collection to the React array. Call this loadData function inside useEffect. Add the functions to go to the details data with the params. Don't forget to add the props to the main functions, fields, or properties. Add the rendered or written template that shows the Ionic component. Step number 6. Implementing country charts. Now we need to add the country charts that shows coronavirus cases, deaths, and recovered day by day. Create a new tsx and css file inside the src pages folder. Fill the initial codes for this page or components. Register with new components to the Ion router outlet in src app tsx. Also add the imports for these components. Next, back to the details tsx, then add or modify these imports. Add the props parameter to the main function. Declare the required variables, constants, and Firebase collections initializations at the top of the main function. Add use effect functions that calls load data function. Add load data functions to load data from the Firebase collections with the filter by country, then extract the response to the array of objects. Add the functions that converts Firebase response as the array of objects. Modify or add a return functions that renders the templates to display the details of cases by country with the bar chart. Step number 7. Add coronavirus cases input form. To create the input for the new cases by country and by day, create a JSX and CSS to create a new page or components inside this RC pages folder. Fill the input .txt files with the initial React codes. Register these new components to the Ion router updates in src app JSX. Also add the imports for these components. Open and edit src pages input JSX. Then add or modify these imports. Add these constants variables that required for the input form. Check the existing data and Firebase collection initialization. Add the functions to check the existing country and date, then show an alert if it exists or send data to Firebase collection if it doesn't exist. As you see in above, in these functions, there is additional function to extract or convert Firebase snapshots to the array of objects and give 0 page to the manually formatted date. Finally, add or modify the render or return functions that shows the templates for input a new coronavirus case. Don't forget to add these props to the main function's properties. Step number 8. Run and test the Ionic 5 React Firebase app. Now we will build this Ionic 5 React Firebase app to the Android or iOS device or simulator. Because we are using a capacitor to build this app, type these commands to add platform and build or run this app to Android device or simulator. After the last commands, it will open Android Studio automatically. Now you can select your device or simulator, then run it by click on the play button in the Android Studio. For the iOS, run these commands. The Xcode will open this iOS build and now you can run to your device or simulator. If you are using the device, make sure you have to change the bundle ID in your Apple Developer accounts to your Apple Developer account prefix. For example, home Djamware coronavirus app. and also change the build settings, development teams to your Apple developer accounts. And here the app looks like. That is the build Ionic 5 React Firebase Coronavirus Dashboard mobile app. You can get the article and full working source code link in the descriptions below. Thank you.